Alright guys, time to talk about the Solitaire show in detail. And in case you didn't see part 1, this actually does have spoilers, unlike my other and block reality show reviews, okay? So sorry about that, but this is a time where I just can't do it non-spoiler, okay? Look in the description of the previous part for non-spoiler reviews, okay? Alright, so Season 1 of Solitary. I really like this season. Since I wasn't totally familiar with the concept of the show, the newness factor really hit me home along with the contestants. I felt for them in many situations. And I was pleased that the majority of the tasks they had to perform were tasks that felt pretty common, so I actually kind of wish I was in their position, except not for money, obviously, just to see how long I can last, just see how long I would have lasted. I mean, sure, I probably would have sucked at the eating challenge and a couple of the others, but others, such as, like, that spinny one, I'd like to see myself try that. And then sitting in that huge crate at the end, I'd like to see that. How did I feel about the contestants? They were all pretty interesting to watch, even though there was a clear divide between the minor characters and the major characters that you could guess would probably go on, because numbers 8 and 2 and 9, you could tell that they weren't going to last. And then number 6, you can't argue the fact that he got so much camera time, you could tell that he was going to go. But like numbers 1, 3, 5, and 7, you could tell that they were in it for the long haul, and I ended up being right on that. So how did I feel about the end of the season? I was sorry to see number 1 go. I had wanted number 3 to go for the past couple episodes before she left, so I was happy about that. 5 was actually the person I had mainly been rooting for the entire show. From episode on, I found myself rooting for this guy. 7, I didn't like him for the first 2 episodes, but after that, I found myself growing more of a fan of him. So when he ultimately won, I was happy for him, because after number 5, he was the person that I felt had mastered the game the most. But then again, it can be argued that 7, really truly mastered everything, because he never quit a treatment, never pushed the red button ever, and he won pretty much every single test. Whereas number 5 merely survived every treatment until he was eliminated, but even then he made it to the last treatment, so he went for the entire show. So yeah, that was a great battle. Sorry about that, I'm just fixing my TV. So moving on to Season 2, well, like with it seems like the majority of Season 2 of reality shows, I didn't really find myself liking this season. But it's nowhere near as bad as other cases, because it was still interesting to watch, both watching these characters and just how bad the treatments were. And these treatments looked a lot harder, let me tell you. But I found that this season had a little more negative tone to it, and the rivalries between some of these contestants just really got to me, I'll admit. I don't know. So, I did say that the contestants were kind of negative, but yes, they were still easy to watch, and there was still a bit of a divide between characters that were probably going to last a while and those that weren't, because JP, I knew him from Survivor Vanuatu. It's actually because of looking up his page on Survivor Wiki I was able to find this show. And then Tyler and then Fu, I could tell that they were major characters in this show and that it was fun to watch. Free, I don't know. This is, I think, the number 3 that I can remember the least about, because actually, heck, right now this is the only number 3 that I can't picture her face right off the top of my head. Although there was a part of me that did kind of want to see her go with the previous number 3, which is kind of ironic, because I found it pretty funny in this season that number 7 made it to the final 2 again, and that number 3, again, after winning a couple of tests, got 3rd place. I found that kind of funny. Was I happy that Fu beat Tyler? Honestly, yes, because while I did feel sorry for Tyler when he finally lost, I think it was just his negativity for the rest of the season that kind of drove me off. But let me tell you, if Tyler had won, he deserved it. Absolutely, just I wanted Fu to win. I just fell for him more. Season 3, I really liked this season because not only was the beginning a lot more interesting, you know, how a couple of the contestants actually have interaction with each other, but these people just had a little bit more of an energy to them, because for the first time I felt like the contestants knew what they were getting into, so they had a lot more determination in attacking the show. And I actually couldn't pick a top pick to win because I found myself rooting for quite a lot of them. I mean, like, sure, a couple of them did have a little bit of negative moments. 7, 4, 9, 3. I thought there was one other person. It doesn't matter, really. Although I was kind of annoyed at how they hyped up number 6 at the beginning, because they made him seem like he was going to be a major character, and instead he was the first person out. And then, like, how do I feel about number 2's elimination in this season? Part of me agrees with it, part of me doesn't. That's the best answer I can give to you. Because it was a unique situation, let me tell you. So how do I feel about the top people? For the first time, I was actually sorry to see number 3 go, because, well, I disliked her a little bit more than the other number 3s. Yes, part of it is because she's hot, I'll admit, but I just found her not to be as negative as the other number 3s, and she... Sorry, I'm getting freaked out by a lot of weird noises. She just had a little bit more heart in her, and it was a little sorry to see her go, but that would have made a lot less interesting finale, because this season, again, had a duel between the Masters, numbers 4 and 7. That was a pretty interesting battle between them. I would have been happy to see any of them win, and man was I sorry to see number 4 lose. Although I think I was just that much more for number 7. And it's interesting to find out that number 7 actually didn't push the red button until this episode. But it turns out that he never needed to push that red button. And then finally we move on to Season 4. Now, the fact that this season started off, like, so different from the other seasons in that, it seemed like, this was just a lot more of a random bunch of people without any big characters, having so many women in the show, because, like, okay, I am not against having more women than men in the show, because, like, if you go back to my Big Brother videos, you'll find that in many videos I complain about having more guys than girls. And I know because there is 9 players, there by default has to be one, higher member of one sex, okay? But I was kind of annoyed that, like, they changed number 7 to be a woman. I mean, like, this was a trend that the show had going. Every previous season, number 3 is female, and she makes the top 3 and is eliminated 3rd, and number 7 is a male and gets to the end. And 2 out of 3 times, number 7 won. And then you bring back the other number 7, you know? So don't break that trend, come on! It was kind of annoying. And I'm pretty sure every number 9 on the show had been a male. Actually, yes, it was, so, you know? But, and also bringing back one veteran and one veteran only was kind of questionable, although that was a good person to pick as the veteran. But as the season went on, I found myself liking it a lot more, actually, because the contestants again seemed to have a little bit more energy to them. I actually found myself rooting for a couple of the players. Number 9, that was one contestant that was interesting to root for, and I was kind of annoyed that they could consider that to be puke, because that honestly just looked like a lot of saliva. I mean, like, that is abnormal amount of saliva for the human mouth. I will perfectly admit that, but I don't know, that just didn't really seem like puke. Sorry, it didn't. I was also rooting for number 3, although she was kind of annoying for the first couple of episodes, but after she started attacking the show a little more, it was just more interesting. And I found myself rooting for Tyler quite a lot, because I'll admit, if I had to choose between which season I like more in, here or 2, I'll actually pick here, to tell you the truth. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I really liked the humorous moments that they had in this season, you know. Could you please share your penis with me? Oh, that was so good. Now, let's talk about the top 4, because I've already gone on for the top 5, number 9 going. Well, number 7 going, well, that was a first for the show, number 7 going, but, you know, the fact that they changed it from a guy to a girl, it kind of is different enough that I can't fully call the trend abolished, okay? So then the final 3, how do I feel about Tyler not getting an advantage? Okay, now, pardon me, because this is the last season of the show, and I think quite a lot of people knew that this was going to be the last season, I'm kind of annoyed by it, because this is going against the form of the show. Now, had they continued this trend in future seasons, or done something like every even season, it's only an advantage in every odd season, it's immunity from the final 3 treatment, I would have been fine with it, okay? But because this is the last season of the show, I'm not that fine with it. Now, given how the season eventually turned out, I don't think it totally affected matters that much, even though I was rooting for Tyler and number 3 and did want number 2 out, because, okay, this is what I think would have happened, all the possibilities for what would have happened had Tyler actually been given immunity from the final 3 treatment. So obviously he's in the top 2. What would have happened is that number 3 still would have had to make number 2 do a heck of a lot of penalty squats, except his time would have gone up a lot faster than hers, of course. So there is a darn good possibility he would have lost the final treatment. Now, had he lost the final treatment, something tells me number 3 still would have won the test. Would she have won the treatment against Tyler? I don't know. I feel like Tyler would have had one heck of a great shot at winning this, even with her advantage. But had 3 beaten 2 in the final 3 treatment, I wouldn't have cared who won. Now, had 3 lost the treatment, I think Tyler would have triumphed over number 2. So, ultimately, 2 was out no matter what, because I feel like that final test, if it had been 2 versus Tyler, it would have been right up Tyler's alley. So that pretty much sums that up. So in the final 2, I did want 3 to win over 2, and given the advantage that she had, and given how I judged 2, I figured that she had it in the bag, and I was proven to be right. So, the curse of number 3 was finally broken, and a female ended up winning the show, and I was pretty happy for her. Good winner. So, this season, really enjoyable. So, how do I rank the seasons? From best to worst, I think I'll go 1, 4, 3, 2. And I'll just leave it at that. Whoa, a bit of a long video there. Well, I guess I just had a lot to say about it. And it's such a bummer that this show ended up getting axed. Well, not totally axed, the channel got axed, but just, yeah. It's so annoying. Like with The Mole, this show is very popular amongst its fans, but it just doesn't attract enough fans to keep it going. Such a bummer. Because like there's a bunch of people out there that complain about reality shows being like all about the drama and stuff like that, and how these reality shows that are all about the drama, keep on going, like Pawn Stars, Hardcore Pond, Survivor, Hell's Kitchen, Big Brother, but the shows that aren't so much about the drama, such as Top Shot All Stars, The Mole, and this show, don't survive long enough. It's just kind of ironic, don't you think? Later.